Growing up, I would actually get the chance to watch numerous classic sitcoms from long ago that I never heard of, nor did I get to see reruns of. And last year, I made the exception of this one show I did watch a little bit of, but not a whole lot of. And this show recently celebrated its 50th anniversary this year. It's a show that made the late great dad of a big time movie star a household name. Well, in a way. So, what happens when a Mexican dude comes to work for crotchety old dude at his service station? Well, easy. You got this show right here. In this TV log, I am going to talk about Chico and the Man. This is a TV log from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and I'm back with another TV log. Today I'm going to be talking about a very funny show that I just watched completely just before last year was over with and going into this year. A fun-filled show about Mexican dude, as I said, who, well, comes into the life of a crotchety old man and works for his service station. Well, I gotta say, this show is absolutely really funny, and I think it's one of the most coolest, but also a little underrated because it kind of went low later on. So now, without any further ado, I bring to you Chico and the Man. Chico and the Man was a very funny sitcom that originally premiered on NBC on September 13th, 1974. The series was produced by the Comic Company and Wolper Productions. Anyway, Chico and the Man, it tells the story of a cantankerous owner of a rundown garage in East Los Angeles barrio and an upbeat, optimistic young Mexican American who comes in looking for a job. It was the first U.S. television series set in a Mexican American neighborhood. The series was created by James Comack, who the following year would go on to would later give us Welcome Back, Kotter. Now then, and of course, oh yeah, and Comack also produced The Courtship of A's Father, which was a recent hit back in the late 60s and going to the early 70s. Let's see here. Yeah. Well, apparently for the conception of this, comedians Cheech and Chong, Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, have stated that series creator Mr. Comack followed the comedians on tour for 3 months. Chong wrote in his 2009 book, Cheech and Chong, the Unauthorized Autobiography, that Comack based his show on Cheech and Chong's skits titled The Old Man in the Park and Pedro and the Man. Excuse me. And acknowledged the fact that Chong after the TV series release. Cheech and Chong have stated that Comack had originally approached them to star in the show, but they turned down the offer, preferring to stick to films. Comack told the Associated Press that he first tried working with the duo on a show about Chicano and Nessie. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Comack said he decided to make the show about a young Chicano and a seventh generation wasp after he and the comedy team couldn't get it together. So, Comack, of course, created the series. NBC suggested someone like Jack Alberton, who plays the man, and Comack approached him. Though not impressed with the pilot script, he agreed on the trust of Comack's reputation. A young man named Freddie Prinze, Yes, you heard me correctly. That would be Freddie Prinze Jr.'s who unfortunately committed suicide, but I'll try to do my best to remember to get to that later. Was discovered by Comac, who received a recommendation from a friend who saw Prince's appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson in December of the previous year. So thought he would be perfect for the role of Chico. Though initially rejected by NBC executives, he stood out against two other finalists in testing. Now, in now we focus on Ed, who is played by Jack Alberton, who has done numerous films. He had recently done Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and The Poseidon Adventure before this. It was a hard drinking wheeler. Ed stubbornly refuses to fit in with the changing East LA neighborhood who has alienated most of the people who live around him. He uses ethnic slurs and berates Chico, a Latino, in an effort to get him to leave when Chico comes looking for a job. Yet, Chico sees something in Ed and sneaks back in at night to clean up the garage and move into an old van that Ed has parked inside. As Ed sees all the effort Chico has put in, he begins to warm up to him. Over the course of the show, Ed grows to see Chico as family, although Ed denies this on several occasions. So apparently, the show was sort of similar to that of the network's big hit series at the time, Sanford and Son, which actually, when the show first premiered, it was shown right after it. I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, the chemistry between Ed and Chico was a major factor in making the show a hit in its first two seasons. It debuted in the top 10 and remained in the top 30 for its second season. As the show progressed, Chico's background was revealed as being Mexican on his father's side and Puerto Rican on his mother's side, and then on the Prince's faux Hungarian ancestry. My grandmother speaks a little Hungarian, though Prince's paternal ancestry was actually German. In a stage act, he would claim his father was Hungarian, thereby allowing him to comically refer to himself as Hungarkin. Hungarkin. Chico was revealed to have spent part of his childhood in Hungary following the death of his mother, being raised by his aunt Connie. Character who appeared in two other episodes. Chico attempts to explain his situation to Ed by portraying it as the dilemma of his distant cousin in Hungary, torn between the farmer for whom he now works and whom he has grown to love, and another farmer who has offered him a better job. During this scene in this episode, the love between these disparate characters was made clear for the first time, with Chico's cousin Carlos, played by actor Richard Ñíguez, notes when he released Chico from his promise. By his second season, Ed begins to see that he is part of a bigger world, although he still complains about it. But this time he has found himself a girlfriend by the name of Flora, played by Carol Cook. The show's theme song was written and performed by Jose Feliciano after recently having a big international hit with his holiday classic Feliz Navidad. But however, when the show was in its third season, Freddie Prinze shot himself on January 28, 1977, after struggling with depression and drug use. He was taken off life support and died the following day at the age of 22. And the last episode starring him was Ed Talks to God, which was taped several hours before Prince's death. Well, after Prince's death, the producers considered canceling the show, but opted instead to try replacing the character. To write Chico out of the script, they had the other characters comment that he had gone to visit his father in Mexico. The third season finished out with 3 episodes without Chico, focusing on the other characters in the show. In the opening episode of the 4th season, a replacement for Chico was introduced. Instead of an adult, the producers brought in 12-year-old Raul, played by Gabriel Melgar. His first appearance came when Ed and Louie, who happens to be the garbage man the garbage man, played by Scatman Crothers, who the same year this show premiered would voice the titular character of Hanna-Barbera's fun-filled animated series Hong Kong Phooey. He had also recently done TV shows and movies like The Aristocats and also voiced characters in several other cartoons like the Harlem Globetrotters. Anyway, his first appearance came when Ed and Louie go on a fishing trip to Tijuana and find the Mexican orphan hiding out in their trunk on their return. At the end of the episode, Ed is putting Raul to bed and accidentally calls him Chico. Raul corrects him and Ed remarks, "You're all Chicos to me." Ed eventually adopts Raul, only to have Raul's overprotective Aunt Charo, played by actress and singer Charo, come from Spain and try to become part of the family as well. A two-part episode ran the final season, which Raul discovers Chico's belongings in a closet. Ed catches him playing Chico's guitar, and Ed smashes it on the van in anger. Raul believes Ed does not love him anymore and runs away to Mexico. Ed goes after him and finally explains to Raul that Chico died, but did not say how, putting a measure of closure on the fate of Chico in the series. In January of 1978, after one further episode, NBC placed the series on hiatus. The show returned in June, and the unaired episodes were broadcast through the summer of 1978, although one episode remained unaired during the final network run. Toward the end of the show's final season, actress Julie Hill was added to the cast as Monica, Ed's attractive 18-year-old adopted niece. She had come to LA to break into show business and lived in Chico's old van while awaiting her big break. The show was canceled at the end of the fourth season. The show's ratings steadily declined after Prince's death and never recovered. Yep, after four long seasons, the show ended on July 21st, 1978, after a total of 88 episodes were produced and aired. Now, aside from, well, some of the characters I've already mentioned, there have been others. Another character did appear in as a supporting character, and that was actress Della Reese, who played Della Rogers, Ed's neighbor and landlady. And there would be lots of other guest stars throughout the series. Among some of them include Cesar Romero, you may remember the Joker of TV's Batman, Tony Orlando of the Tony Orlando and Dawn, Sammy Davis Jr., Shelley Winters, after recently starring with Albertson in the Poseidon Adventure, Jim Backus from Gilligan's Island, the voice of Mr. Magoo himself, George Takei from Star Trek, Brian Koppel from Get Smart, and even the man who performed the theme song, Jose Feliciano. Anyway, after its run, the show did, however, got to be seen in syndication in a few markets, and only for a relatively short period. Soon in 2001, TV Land actually got to air it. Ion Television Guy in 2007, WGN in Chicago, and the American Life TV Network got to show as well. It's also been shown in Canada and Italy. And also, it was shown on AOL's now defunct Into TV. In 2005, Warner Home Video released a television favorites compilation containing 6 episodes, including Chico's cousin Pepe, which of course Jose Feliciano guest stars. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Feliciano also does the closing song as well. And it also includes Chico's final appearance in the episode Ed Talks to God. However, the complete series remains yet to be released on DVD, so it's going to be tough to find this, but it's no problem to find it on streaming. As of last December, the series got put up on Tubi. So that's your best chance to see this. All 4 seasons are currently available on Tubi, so that's your best chance to find this show. So anyway, I really think this is a great show, and I really got a ton of good laughs. Now, of course, Freddie Prinze is well known for doing Chico, who was absolutely good before his untimely death. I will say he was famous for one catchphrase, though, looking good. Yep. Yeah, that was always one of the funniest parts I really liked about him. Anyway, really something. Let me show you a few shots from the show. Here's a shot of Chico and the Man plus Louie, the garbage man, played by Scatman Crothers. Here's a shot from the episode of Chico's Cousin Pepe with Jose Feliciano himself. He actually performed his cover of The Doors' Light My Fire in this episode as well. Well, I can't find any with Raul though, but if you watch the series, you'll see him, okay? And you'll see all the others as well. So anyway, if you really want a good fun show from long ago, then I'd say go with Chico and the Man. After it's been 50 years since this show came out, I think it's one of the absolutely funniest. But anyway, I just know it has great characters and fun-filled stories and all sorts of craziness you could ever imagine seeing. So this is a definite recommendation by yours truly, the Big D. So what did you think of Chico and the Man? Did you ever watch this show? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel and get them to know me. May they like to check me out and be a part of my Big D Nation, or you can share my vids with your friends if you wish. And next time, I'll have another TV vlog coming up, and they'll be on Charles in Charge, another show I recently celebrated an anniversary this year, Big 4-0. So if you like this, consider checking out some of these other shows that I've actually tackled from the 70s. In the upper left hand corner is the TV log I did on Sanford and Son. The upper right hand corner is my Do You Remember episode on the short lived Lots of Luck, which did air on NBC. And same for another one. See my Do You Remember episode on the Sanford and Son spinoff Grady in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the TV log, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.